Warning, this video contains music
opinions. What's up, guys? Aloha. It's Robert Z. Real.
It is Twist.
And we are here with, been excited about this one. This is the latest goodness from the amazing, that's right, I said it, the amazing Limp Bizkit.
Very divisive band, but hey, we like what we like. This is why this is our channel. Who cares? It's our opinions.
And I'm ready to defend not only this band, but this comeback album.
This is why the intro to our videos exist.
They haven't taken like really long breaks, but they were gone long enough to where when this one was announced, I was hyped.
No, I'm excited. All right, let's get into it. First song, Out of Style.
Out of Style, definitely. All
the
name songs really like I love how they're okay with poking fun at themselves while still putting out a kick-ass song.
That was my point. I was gonna say it's just funny that the first song on the album, Limp Bizkit Still Sucks, is Out of Style. So I just thought that was a funny little thing.
Of course, having Wes Borland doing his Wes Borland thing on the guitar, just riffs that you just don't hear from other guitarists.
I will say that was something I did kind of miss, not having Limp Bizkit in my life so long, because just other music was out, and I like punk as mostly, but that I miss that because they do it so well. They have like really cool guitar riffs.
Well, we can get the overall opinion later, but yeah, track 2, Dirty Rotten Biscuit.
Oh, the guitar in this is so good too. Oh,
keeps it going. It's like it's new, but they're also, sticking with what got them to the races. That new metal, and he does it in the album. He claims, king of new metal, and honestly, a lot of the old new metal guys, they stopped doing stuff, or they kind of just leaned into straight metal. Or they even some of them leaned into just straight rap rock.
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit is still Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, it definitely feels like they never left. They never dropped off or anything. Let's do the next one. The reason I say I want to do it, my favorite song. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah.
That Vibes favorite song on the album. So good. Just a good.
Yeah, this is.
Good,
of course, this
lyrics.
was the one that they. This was the first one that they released. This was the album teaser, pretty much, and it debuted Fred's new old man Fred look, as I like to call it, the dad Fred. It flows like he's got bars. I don't care.
Yeah.
He was one of my. If anybody out there, if you've happen to go to my YouTube channel and listen to any of the rap tracks that I have out, Limp Bizkit is more than half the reason why I even wanted to do rap and hip hop style in the style that I do it. You can thank Limp Bizkit.
Yep.
And Dad Vibes is definitely showcases that how they can do hip hop and they can do it well for a bunch of white guys.
Yep, it's me solid, very very strong track. But all three of these songs to start the album are just a good start. Turn Up Bitch, very interesting intro, but it's surprisingly catchy for as dumb as it's trying to sound. So like that like old type of, it's definitely going for that vintage like feel. But it's good.
Agreed, most definitely.
This one, just to talk about Turn Up Bitch still, it's catchy. It's what I like, even though it's got that vintage sound, and it's got. If you listen for everybody,
Boom, 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 boom. Good bass line.
Yep.
I dig it.
Next up, Don't Change. This one, it sounds like Kid Rock, but in a good way. I like it. Like, it's definitely got that vintage Kid Rock feel. But you know, they were all around at the same time, so they're. The reason I like this album and this song is it definitely feels like when we were younger, this is what was on the radio, and they just are bringing it back. A lot of times when bands come back, they change. They change so much.
Like Kid Rock changed for the worst, and it's even if it wasn't for a lot of those good tracks that he did have, like way back, like even before Cocky.
Yeah.
But not grits and sandwiches for breakfast. But Kid Rock strayed so far from what got him famous, and when he tried to go back, it failed.
Yep.
Miserably. And as a former Kid Rock fan, and I say former because now I'm really I only like the old Kid Rock stuff. I can't even vibe with his new stuff anymore. But Limp Bizkit has remained consistent more so than anybody else, or than most people from that era and that genre.
And I think I have a reason why when we get to the end of it, because I was watching some interviews. Next up, You Bring Out the Worst in Me. I like this one. It's different
I like
for
how
them.
it takes me back to this one and a couple of the other. Really takes me back to Results May Vary, which even though Wes Borland was not on that album, I loved how different it was.
Yep.
It's still to this day one of, if not my favorite Limp Bizkit. It's the only reason why it's not my favorite is because it's missing that crazy Wes Borland guitar. Definitely my second favorite album by them from their earlier works. And this one, when I first heard it, when I did my first listen through of this album, that's when I was like, they didn't just try to recreate only their earlier material. It's like, it's not a rehash of Chocolate Starfish. It's also, they're okay with still doing some of that material that they did on Results May Vary.
Yep.
And the name on that album was also very fitting, because a lot of people hated it and they lost a lot of fans from that, but they never lost me.
Yep. So, may shock you, second favorite song on the album is this one for me. It's so interesting. The guitar is on this. There's not rapping. It's all sung and screamed, or like yelled. You put
Like,
this.
people
You put this
sleep
on like.
Fred Durst's Range.
I know.
They sleep on it a lot.
I'm telling you, you put this chorus to this song. You put this chorus to this song on like a Bring Me the Horizon CD or something. It fits because it is like that modern of a chorus, and the guitars are very proggy too, almost not necessarily complicated or in weird time signatures, but it is definitely on the guitar itself. They're like having to use pinch harmonics and stuff for it, so it's really cool. So just second favorite song on the album, definitely for me. Just a cool. It's so different from everything else on the CD that I wouldn't mind if they did more songs like this, because this is just a cool song. All right, next up, Love to Hate, funny song. funny song. The song is just them shit talking themselves, but then defending themselves. So it's hilarious.
Agreed. That's pretty much took the words right out of my mouth.
Other than just the topic of the song, I mean, I don't have too much to say about it other than like it's just go listen to this song, because if for nothing, the drama from their whole situation this song is a good song for just if you like the drama of Limp Bizkit. Next up, Barnacle.
This one was really cool.
It was. This is a cool one.
It's just another change of pace on the album. Like, yeah, they do the rock stuff, but Barnacle, you could take Barnacle off of this album.
Throw it on Nevermind.
Yes, it's grunge.
Yes, I told you. I knew you was gonna say that. Throw it on Nevermind. This is a Nirvana song. This is what this is. It's really cool. I've not heard a band do a Nirvana style song this well. Like I said, you take the name Limp Bizkit off because there is like toxicity with that name and the music, whatever.
Yeah,
we're not even getting into all that. If you do the song on its own merits, you'd be like, dude, this is cool. I like this band. They're doing music for us old heads that we used to listen to that doesn't get made anymore. Nobody's making this anymore. Nobody's making Nirvana grunge anymore.
Dad Vibes is my number one.
This is my third.
This one is my third. Yeah, this is my third.
Mm-hmm.
And we get into track 9.
Yep, Empty Hole.
Empty Hole, second favorite song on the album. Because
good. It's strong.
Again, it's how they did their little like acoustic like jams, like Build a Bridge,
mm-hmm.
and Why. A couple of their other little like acoustic jams that they got, and they're great songwriters. They don't have to do the new metal thing every time. They can just sit down and crank out a nice acoustic ballad jam.
Mm-hmm. No, I like it. Just strong stuff.
I love the lyrics. I love the way it sounds. I love how it's just stripped down to just vocals and guitar.
And it's short, so like it's a nice little bite-sized just song. Like
bite-sized little change of pace, especially after Barnacle.
Next up, Pill Popper. The intro is like that, newscastery stuff that some bands like to do. But when you get to the song, it's definitely that Limp Bizkit feel. Just another.
It's like jumping through this whole album is like a journey through the Limp Bizkit timeline,
mm-hmm.
but it's not like a linear journey. It's like if you think they're doing it almost. It's like a mock greatest hits almost. It's like their greatest sounds, their greatest styles from over the years, from all their different albums, compiled into this new album to let you know that for all the people that are like, oh, I like Limp Bizkit, but only when they were doing it this way.
Yeah.
I only like that Limp Bizkit. It's like, nah, it's always been Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, this song is definitely for the people that like the Limp Bizkit and the top of new metal that only they can do. This is just another good song for that crowd. Next up, Snacky Poo. Another kind of fun.
Snacky Poo.
Yeah.
It's another taking jabs at people that, are sleeping on them and not taking them seriously.
Yeah.
And it's letting people know that
it's
they're still here. It doesn't matter how old they've gotten or.
I don't know why.
Forgotten.
It's always not weird, but it's like surreal almost. This song is talking about their drama, but in like 2000, let's say it's not released in 2023, but let's say 2023, they talk about like the social media aspect of everything, which that there was social media, but it was more media, like the old media. It was like classic websites and magazines talking about them and other musicians. But now it's talking about like clout and everything. So it's just weird seeing a band that we grew up with talking about something so like relatable these days. It's just weird that wasn't a thing they had an issue with because it wasn't a thing back 20 years ago.
They're able to still stay relevant and like once again, motherfuckers got bars.
Yeah.
I don't care who tries to deny it.
This is like, I'm not super into rap or anything or hip hop, but like this vintage style flow that they go with. I love when they do these vintage style flows for the backdrop of what they're trying to say. Because the music in a lot of these, it's not really about the music. It's not really about the guitars. This song is more about the lyrics. So it's just the vessel that they use. And last up is Goodbye, which, number 12. It's the last song on the album, and Goodbye just seems appropriate. It's
most different on the album.
It's what is it, like 311 almost, like like
it's poppy.
Yeah, like it's got that.
It's completely different than anything else on the whole album.
And it's
not even something that would have been on Results May Vary.
No.
Is me, that's like completely new, and it even took me a second. I was like,
I definitely think this is one of those songs that they. Now, I don't know this. Like I said, we're not in the writing room. I feel like this song, because it sounds so different, they probably wrote it specifically to end the album. They probably was like, we're going to do all this stuff, and then I'm going to write a song that ends the album. I'm going to name it Goodbye. And because that seems what the lyrics are about that. He's just kind of like bidding you adieu, saying, we're back. Here's the album. Hope you liked it. If you didn't, whatever. But we had fun. Yep. But it's just a good little jam.
Enjoying it, and here's the sign off. But
all right, so let's get into the final thoughts of the song or the album, and I'll let you do your first take since I did the last one.
Oh, this one is easily a 5 out of 5 for me.
Yep.
There's not a song on here that I would skip or downplay. Ever since it came out, this is one that I was completely prepared to talk about because I've already listened to it. As soon as it came out, it was immediately on my Spotify, on my playlist, on my YouTube, everywhere. When they released Dad Vibes, I was jamming it constantly. I was so ready for this album to come out, and when it did come out, even like it was what I expected and more. And a lot of people that wait a long time to try to do what they did, it either completely falls flat, or there's a couple of songs where I'm just like, it's okay. Yeah. But no, this whole one's a banger. It's Chocolate Starfish, Results May Vary, Still Sucks.
Yep.
Top 3 Limp Bizkit albums. All fivers for me.
All right, so my thought. Okay, so you said 5 out of 5 is your
5
rating?
out of 5 for me.
Okay, all right. For me personally, 4 out of 5. But that's not bad. Not bad. It's only because
you're not as much of a hip hop guy as I am.
So here's the thing. Typically, this would have been a 3 out of 5 for me. So Limp Bizkit's not even necessarily like my top 5 favorite or top 10 favorite. I like their stuff because they have a lane that only they can do. But for overall thoughts of the album, 4 out of 5, and it's because this was such a banger of an album. I think this, and it's sad to say because, it's good to say, because a lot of times when artists bring out new music, it's actually worse. This is better to me than a lot of the stuff they've released ever. The reason I like it, which I said most of the other Limp Bizkit albums would have been a 3 out of 5. 4 out of 5. They do really good at every song. Every song is different, and that is something I've talked about in these earlier reviews, that while I like the albums, a lot of these bands get into the rut of whatever album they're trying to make, and it's just 12 songs that sound like that. And especially when you're a band that uses no MIDI or any pop-in things. Now they do, but you could definitely fall into that hole. Every song on this album is different, and there's like 6 songs out that sound like it could have been the radio single from the album, because they're all so different, but they're also good. So that's why I like it. They do a good job on that, like retro hip hop beats. They do good at getting the message across what they're trying to say. They have just good songs that have no message, but they're just banger songs. And I think they're
not afraid of like leaning into the fact that they're a little corny sometimes.
And they're the only band. They're the only band that can do what they do.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
The reason, for me, 4 out of 5. But I was watching some interviews, and Fred was saying it's because Limp Bizkit, it takes all of the members to make the sound that they make, because they're all so different on what they listen to and what they like. He was saying if you took a piece of the ingredient out, while every single ingredient by itself is cool, like, but when you mix them all, he says that's the only way we get that sound. That's so like, you'll have like the cool little just the things they do, the guitar, the vocals.
May Vary was so different
because you remove that piece and it sounded
time that they had done anything
without Wes,
and you could tell.
Yep.
But I still loved it because it was different. I was a little more open-minded to it, especially back then when I was like 12 or 13 when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
But this one was such a... I mean, I had no doubt that I would love it. I just didn't know... I wasn't expecting to love it as much as I did.
I will say...
Especially by the time I got to Goodbye, and as soon as that one started, and that being like the closing track, I was just like, this literally just has everything you might want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can listen to it all at once, which I highly recommend always doing, but you could also just pick any song out of it
mm-hmm.
and still enjoy it.
Like I said, there's a couple I didn't love as much that I wouldn't pick out of a hat, but out of 12 songs, I'm gonna say there's like 10 that any of them. You tell me any of those 10, I don't care. They're all good. But that's for me. Like I said, that's strong praise. I tell people out here, don't think 4 out of 5 is bad. 4 out of 5 is strong. That is a strong rating. 5 out of 5 is just for something that is the lyrics hit, the vocals hit, the guitars hit, everything hits, and the production hits. It takes a lot to get like a good 5 out of 5 album. So, all right, guys, we've wasted 21 minutes of your time listening to lunatics who like Limp Bizkit talk. So that's why we do what we do. That's what our channel is. Our channel is not reviewing the newest of music all the time. We will be doing that, but our channel is reviewing the songs that made us like what we like, the journey we've taken, and songs and albums that we made think you've not heard because either people have told you not to listen to it, or it's not that good, or you just don't know of them because they're kind of small, but they have good gems in them. Alright guys, I'm Twist, this is Robert, we will see you in the next review. Thank you for watching. Thanks everyone for checking out another Real Twisted review. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. See you in the next one.